So hi guys, this is Roshan and welcome to the Jhipster tutorial. So what is the Jhipster? Jhipster is nothing but the application generator which will generate the enterprise level application in which we will have the backend into the Spring Boot, and for the front end we can choose either Angular or React. So it is the application generator which will help us to generate the application that will be ready for our production. So there are different tools available to create the Spring Boot application. For example, Spring Initializer is there. So why specifically the Java Jhipster if the initializer is already there? So with the Spring Boot initializer, what you can do is you can create the simple Spring Boot application by defining the dependencies. But using the Jhipster, we can have the application which already created which already have the number of dependencies which is required in our enterprise application. For example, there are frameworks like TimeLeaf is there, then Liquibase is there, then Swagger is there. So whatever the necessary frameworks and the necessary dependencies we want, we can have that in the Jhipster application. So let's understand what is this all about. So this is the modern web application development. So as I already told you guys, this is the framework, this is the application generator where we can have the client-side technologies like Yamin is there. Yamin is nothing but the generator. Webpack is there to build our front-end application that might be in the Angular or React. And Bootstrap, that is nothing but the famous CSS framework. So these are the client-side technologies included into the Jhipster, and also Jhipster is having wide range of modules in the marketplace that we can select at the time of creating our application. What is there in the server-side technologies? So in the server-side technologies, the Maven, we can choose as Maven. Then Spring MVC REST is there. Spring Data JPA is there. And also Netflix stack is there. So with the help of Netflix stack, we can create microservices based or microservices architecture based application in the Jhipster using the Jhipster. So we can build our first app, but before building our first app, let's install the Jhipster. So generator Jhipster, that is nothing but the npm package from the Jhipster. So make sure guys you have the node installed into your application, into your operating system. So let's install the generator Jhipster. It will take some time, so just copy the link and just copy the link and paste it into your terminal. So we are done with the installation of Jhipster, and let's create one simple sample application using the Jhipster. So here is my projects directory, and I have created one folder here, my online cart. So let's create one e-commerce application where I can explain you the things that we can do with the Jhipster one by one. So let's create the application. To create the application, simply type the command at Jhipster. So it will show you which Jhipster version we have here. So we have the 6.2.0, which is latest one, and here is it will ask a certain set of questions to you while creating the application. So it is the what type of application would you like to create. So there are different type of application that you can create using the Jhipster. One is the monolithic application, which is recommended for the simple project. consider that you have to create only one application in your enterprise, so you can use the monolithic application here. Microservices application is different one, where you don't have the front end side code, you will have only the service which is built upon the Spring Boot application. So also microservices gateway is there. So we can see these things one by one. Let's create the simple monolithic application. So I'm selecting monolithic application here. So what is the base name of your application? So I have already created the folder with the same name, so I want to take the same name here. So just press enter. What is your default Java package? So just choose default Java package as my online cart .rk. Do you want to use the Jhipster registry to configure or monitor your application? So what is the Jhipster registry? It is nothing but the Eureka server that will provide the discovery server for your application. Usually we will not select this here because we can use that in the microservices based architecture, and this is our monolithic application, the simple application, so we don't need it. So I will just select the no. Which type of authentication would you like to use? In your application you can choose any kind of authentication, like JWT based authentication is there, which will be the stateless, in which you will have one JWT token which you can issue to your end users, and with the help of that token your end users can call the REST APIs. The second one is HTTP session authentication, which is nothing but the stateful authentication mechanism, and also OAuth 2.0. So let's go with the JWT authentication. Now it is asking for the type of database that we have to use, so we'll select the SQL here, and also it will ask to select the production database would you like to use. So that we are going to use as the MySQL, and also in the development I want the MySQL. So it is asking me for what type of cache abstraction that you want to use here. So there are different types of cache mechanism that you can use. For example, cache is there, then Hazelcast, which is nothing but the distributed cache that you can use in the microservices also. Just go with the cache. So for more details about this type of caches and everything, you can refer to the Jhipster documentation. So they have well defined it, and we'll get to know there. So just click on first one. Do you want to use the Hibernate second level cache? Okay, yes, we will use the second level cache. And what kind of the building tool you have to use? That I usually prefer the Maven, so I will select the Maven here. If you guys are working on the Gradle, you can select the Gradle also. So there are different tools here which you can use, other technologies. So these are nothing but Elasticsearch is there, also WebSockets. So usually we use the WebSocket to have the communication with the front end technologies. So I'll select the WebSocket here. We'll go into the detail of WebSocket into the one of the video. Well, I will simply select the WebSocket here, and which front end framework that you have to use here, which client side framework you have to use here. You have the options like Angular, React, and if you want to create the application without the front end, so you can simply select no client, so it will create only server side application. So let's create the application with the Angular. Would you like to use the Bootswatch theme? So this is the new thing came into the Jhipster, so we can select the Bootswatch theme here. So simply we have the so many Bootswatch template here, so we can select one of it. Just for the demo purpose, I'm showing you what kind of templates we have. So this is the templates we have. So you can choose here which colors and everything. So you can came to know that which template you are using here. Just use the default Jhipster, or you can use any one here. So slate is there, we can use the slate here. So here you can find the same slate is there. So you will get the UI like this. Your front-end application will look like this. So also it will ask for your navbar theme. So let's select primary. Would you like to use the internationalization support? So what it is, so if you are selecting it, you can have your front-end application in so many languages. So just try using it. So you can have the English here, so that is the native language. And what other languages you have to select, you can select here Hindi also. So Hindi is there. You can select other languages also. Just I'm selecting the Hindi here. I'm clicking on the enter. Then also you can choose which type of JUnit or the testing framework you have to use here. So Gatling is there. Gatling is nothing but the open source load and performance testing framework. So we can go for the Gatling. So Cucumber, Protector is there. Behavior based testing tools. Just select the Gatling. So whatever, there are different options that you can select here. Would you like to use the other generators from the Jhipster? That you also can select from the Jhipster marketplace. So I'll simply click the no here. So when you go into the Jhipster site, you can find here the Jhipster marketplace, and from that you can use any generator. So different Jhipsters modules are there that you can use. So guys, it is creating the application. Let's see, we have given the answer to each and every question, and now it is generating our application. So it will take some time. So the application is generated successfully here. So let's start this application. So here they have already given these 2 steps to start our application. To start the Spring Boot application, simply we have to use this command. And to start the front-end application, we have to use this command. So let's start the Spring Boot application, and in another tab, let's start the front-end application. Make sure that whatever the application you created, you have to create the database for the same application. So which I already created the database here. So it is compiling and building the front-end application, and here it is starting the back-end application, the Spring Boot application. Okay, so our front-end application is ready. So it is nothing but our front-end application. And our back-end application is also running. So this is our front-end application, and as we provided the option as slate as the boot swatch template, and which is used by the Jhipster while generating the application. So simply you can log in into the system using the admin username as the admin and password as the admin. Sign in. So you are logged in into the admin. So here you will find all the entities created. So we don't have any entities right now. In the administrator, you can go to the user management. The application is already created some of the users for ready to use. That admin user is there. With the help of the user, we logged in into the system. System user is there, user is there. So in the administrator, there are so many links here. Metrics, where we can find the JVM metrics, the health of the application. We can see it here in the health section. So without disk and everything. Here are the configurations that we have specified into our application YML. Audits and log we can check. With the help of API, as I explained you, the Swagger, it comes default with the Jhipster application. And here are all the resources that we have in our Spring Boot backend application. As we selected the internationalization, these are the languages. So let's select the Hindi language, and it automatically changed everything into the Hindi. So let's change the language once again. This is the account where we have the forget password settings, in which we can change the names and everything. So guys, this is the application ready to use and ready to deploy. So there are a lot of things we can do with the Jhipster that we'll see one by one into the next video. Thanks for watching, and also please subscribe to my channel so that you will not miss any updates on this tutorial.